This is going to be a tutorial on how to crop at the bottom of your quilt, especially when you have a nesting pattern and you don't want to quilt, you don't have very much backing left, so you really need to crop. So I have already nested, so here's my pattern up here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to actually mark my start point on my quilt. So the way that I do that is the easiest way to make sure it's in the exact right position is just take my machine to that start point. Then I just do, depending on what kind of foot you have on, I just mark around the bottom of my foot. Then I'm going to cancel out because I don't want to start quilting. And so you can see here we have our quilt area in the orange. And if I was to crop right now, I would lose all the top of my pattern. So I need to first go into layout. And layout is the fourth one on the left side. Then we're going to adjust our current pattern box. And I'm just going to take my machine all the way to the back left, do a check or do a plus, then I'm going to bring it all the way to the front or bottom, I guess, front of the, and then I'm just going to come all the way across the side. I used channel locks when I basted this down, so it should be straight, but I'm going to come all the way to the right side. Make sure that I'm not going to hit these pins. I actually had to pin a little extra. And then I'm going to do my check. So what happens when you adjust that, it keeps, I'm going to go back over here. It keeps the position of your pattern, of your design, in the same position as the top left corner of your quilt area, so like the quilt area of origin, so it kind of keeps those lined up, so it actually moves the design. So that's why I had you mark your start point previously, because right now I'm at my start point, but if you look up here, I'm nowhere near the start point. So I'm just gonna make sure that my machine's exactly on the start point. I'm gonna go over to edit, then over to move, which is the second one down, and then move start. Move the machine to where you'd like it to start. Well, I've already moved it there, so I'm going to press OK. So now you can see that my blue crosshairs and my green start point are in the same position. So here's our design, and now you can tell that, okay, I'm not going to crop anything above, which is important, and you look below and all this here does need a crop off. So we're going to go to the fifth one down on second from the right, and we're going to crop everything outside of our pattern box. And then we can just go ahead and quilt that. And then we are quilting into our leaders or into our pins or even further into the customer's fabric. So it does take a little bit longer to quilt out, but just, I have my machine set to do a jump stitch of about 10 inches. So if it's jumping from, let's zoom in. So if it's jumping from here to here, it'll just do a knot, move, do a knot, and keep going. It doesn't ask me to cut my thread. So let me just quickly show you how to do that. You're going to go into settings, into parameters, jump stitch is set at 15, and then it'll automatically move and keep going. And this is great for when you're doing the edge of a quilt. I don't know if you would want to do it as much if you're going around applique. It just depends on your thread and how well the lock stitch is making that lock. Because if it's silky thread, sometimes you really do want to bury it. And if it's a thread that has a lot of contrast, you might want to bury it also. So hopefully that helps. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial. This is for if you have your machine's been updated to the 5.1.21, the cropping works really well in that version. So if you have that version, then this is a great way to crop, easy way to crop. Anyway, if you have any questions, put it down below and follow me if you want to see more videos.